to Life Saga TV. We've been away for almost 4 days. We didn't make any video. So I'm here to do a short video on Life Saga TV. Welcome. And I'll keep trying to make even a 7-minute video just for consistency purposes. Now here we are into the politics of Kenya and Burkina Faso. Of course, Burkina Faso under Ibrahim Traore, you know who he is, and he is kind of target. So let's begin with NATEMBEYA versus Chergei and Cheruiyot. There is a war going on, of course. And recently I heard somebody warning NATEMBEYA to be careful and tread, with a lot of caution. I don't know what you think about it. Do you think NATEMBEYA is safe or unsafe? Now let's check into what emerged. Let's get into what emerged with NATEMBEYA calling Chergei and Cheruiyot the backing dogs for RUTO. Songa hivi. Mliweka hapa hii kitu na hata huwa ikui hapa. So let's check into the video and see what's popping.
The gloves are off, the language is raw, and the political knives are no longer hidden. Trans Nzoia Governor George NATEMBEYA is no longer whispering. He is naming names, drawing battle lines, and accusing President William's closest allies of deliberately sabotaging his leadership. In one of his most explosive public moments yet, NATEMBEYA claims he is under sustained attack from Senator Samson Chergei and Majority Leader Cheruiyot, men he says are acting not as legislators but as political attack dogs. And his words, they were unmistakable.
Mwacha mlango na hiyo baridi na nimetasha.
Niliambia watu watanzania kwamba mambo ya kupangwa na watu kutoka nje ilikwisha. Watu wa Bungoma mnaonanga hapa. Wanapaka kule Bungoma.
This was not humor. This was a declaration of political war. NATEMBEYA's accusation is simple but heavy. That powerful figures allied to President William Ruto are meddling directly in the Trans Nzoia's county leadership. At the center of his claim are two names, Samson Chergei and Cheruiyot. According to NATEMBEYA, Senator Chergei has been relentless in public attacks, criticism, and commentary aimed squarely at discrediting his administration. From governance questions to personal jobs, Chergei has repeatedly taken on NATEMBEYA in media appearances and political forums. NATEMBEYA argues this is not oversight, it is not concern, it is political targeting, and he believes Chergei is not acting alone.
That is why you can see, Mr. Speaker, the governor of Trans Nzoia was charged the other day, and one of the court orders say you cannot access the office. Today he was in office. So there is impunity in this country. He was in office, saying Huduma Mashinani office. Yet the courts rule in the court order that he should not step in the office of the governor until the corruption allegation of 1.2 billion is clear or is upheld, Mr. Speaker. This is a country of impunity where somebody wakes up, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the president because he was gracious today. I would have expected my majority will do that, but let me do the honors. Mimi nimeona gavana mwingine hapa jirani yetu wa Trans Nzoia anatusi rais kila wakati, na yeye alikuwa Rift Valley Commissioner wakati fulani. So mimi nataka niseme hiyo kazi wamalizie, tukutane Senate tumalizie, kwa sababu oversight ya president is done by parliament. It is not
Samson Chergei has emerged as one of NATEMBEYA's loudest critics on the stage. Every controversy in Trans Nzoia is quickly followed by commentary from Chergei. Every governor's debate Natembeya's competence, every political misstep is amplified.
Na mimi nataka nimuulize Natembeya aheshimu rais wetu. Mama yake. Hawachane na rais wetu. Sina namna hiyo. Si rais wetu. Kama yeye alitaka kufanya oversight ya president, si kila siku akiamuka William Ruto, William Ruto. William Ruto alikulia nini yake? Hawachane na kitu. Sina namna hiyo. Na asipowacha tutashughulikia yeye. Na tutapiga yeye kisiasa. Si mambo mengine tutapiga hata sisi. Unatoa sisi tunanyamaza, wanafikiri sisi ni waoga. Sisi si waoga. Sisi tunajua kuchapa siasa. Na Trans Nzoia is a cosmopolitan county.
Natembeya's frustration is not just about criticism, it is about frequency, tone, and intent. To him, Chergei is not behaving like a senator focused on legislation, but like a political enforcer who is to keep Natembeya under constant attack. That is why his language is sharp. That is why he spoke of Umbwambili, because in his view, these are coordinated pressure, not coincidence.
Alright guys, what do you think about this? Do you think Chergei and Chergei are actually attacking Natembeya and they are after his seat? Because if you listen to Chergei, he says that if Natembeya does not cease to attack the president, who is Ruto, then they are going to deal with him. They know well how to play politics, and they are going to make sure that they oust him from position. Of course, if you have read one of the books, The Samaritan, that is being studied by high school students, you understand the temperatures about politics and what politicians do. And you wouldn't argue otherwise, but agree with what the analysis is doing, indicating that Natembeya has actually realized that Chergei and Cheruiyot are not just coming out as people to oversee or check out on what is happening. What they are simply doing is to make sure they bring down Natembeya. And recently we saw people warning Natembeya he should be careful and cautious, or else something will happen suddenly. Now, away from that, let's check on to the politics of Ruto and KALONZO. Of course, with the escalating war happening, we understand that any potential presidential candidate becomes a real target for the government. Now, thank you so much, Fiore Lassasalino and Titani TV. Thank you so much for showing up on my channel. I appreciate your presence, and also for understanding that I've been unwell, and I'm still unwell, but I'll still see what to do. And the previous schedule was also very busy, that I couldn't get time to do 2 videos on the other channel and come here. I tried to push edutainment for us, and I've been away almost 5 days from this channel, but all is well, and I appreciate to see you coming to watch. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a happy Christmas and a new prosperous year 2026. If your missions have not been accomplished, maybe at least pray that 2026 will be the best year and you can have your list of priorities working. Now let's get to Kalonzo Musyoka and Ruto war. Earlier on, there was an exchange of words between Gachagua and Ruto. However, of late, the politics have turned, and if you have a serious analysis on politics, you now understand that the wave is moving away from Gachagua and directly pointing to Kalonzo. Why is this happening? During by-election, Kalonzo became a force to reckon, making sure that Ukambani won the votes against Ruto. Away from that, actually, Kalonzo Musyoka also shook the waves of Ukambani, because he made sure that people like Kilonzo Mutula and Wavinya Ndeti were supporting the opposition and not the government. And at any point, critics came out openly to the government, including the banning of Mutusi's vehicle. And at some point, there was a group of crowds which did not celebrate Ruto, but had to suppress him regardless of what he had said, especially when he talked about the lack of brains among some of the leaders in Ukambani. They never kept quiet. For once, they came out and spoke to him, indicating that they cannot be called brainless just because they have been in opposition. Opposition is part of the aspect of Kenyan syllabus when it comes to democracy. So let's now get to see what is popping up in the war between Kalonzo Musyoka and Ruto.
President William Ruto used a campaign rally to ridicule Kalonzo Musyoka over stalled or incomplete road projects in his home region. Ruto used a campaign rally to ridicule Kalonzo Musyoka. Huyo mtu ako na akili kweli mkiona? Ako na utu. President William Ruto used a campaign rally to ridicule Kalonzo Musyoka over stalled or incomplete road projects in his home region, suggesting it proved the Wiper leader has no development record.
Kama akili ya kupanga barabara ya kwenda kwako hauna, akili ya kupanga barabara hizi zote, sijui expressway, sijui hiyo ingine, ata bado nangojea majibu, wajanijibu.
All right, so from there, of course, the Ukambani leader responded at some point and said that he participated in the building of one of the roads in Ukambani and showed some evidence, even though the president had put that aside and shown his own videos. So it has become a clear war, and if you check into it, that is seen. But why is this happening? Realize that Kalonzo Musyoka becomes the loved kind of president candidate among most people. So the war is not just random, but it is particularly meant to frustrate maybe Kalonzo Musyoka and show that something is popping up. Thank you, Nirmalk, short. Thank you, and I appreciate for the comment and presence on my channel. Thank you so much. So our president is going about and calling people brainless, which is not the best indication by anybody. You know, looking at somebody who has really been there for years, he has also been there for years, and the road projects were not enhanced. You cannot enhance your project at home. And of course, now some people saw lack of sense in that. And one of them was Sifuna. Sifuna had to hit back at the president for whatever he said. But let's check before we get to see what Sifuna said. Meanwhile, that road, has it been done? It has not been. There was someone who showed it, and this is the road that was the president promised to do.
Hii ndio barabara ya kutoka Emali kwenda Okia. Hakuna kitu inaendelea hapa, ni Kasongo anadanganya watu hapa wa Kenya. Ndio hiyo barabara. Wacha sasa niwapeleke mahali Kasongo alikuwa anasema anafungua.
While responding to the
All right, so it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the president actually came out to disregard the Kalonzo Musyoka for not having been able to do roads even at his point. And Sifuna, on the other hand, just dropped a hot cake. And the cake came here. The cake is this. Sifuna said, and I want to see that message that he posted.
President's remarks, Sifuna questioned Ruto's suggestion that national leadership begins with personal projects. He reminded Ruto that public resources are not supposed, or rather are supposed to follow national priorities, not village preference. This is what Sifuna said. Exactly the mentality that will get us to Singapore. That when you get power, you start with yourself. Do I want the road to my village tarmacked? Yes. Is it a national priority to be elevated over, say, Bomas Kiserian? No. In 2027, get rid of these dealers who think starting with themselves is a measure of leadership. Sifuna wrote on Twitter to President Ruto's remarks.
Huyo mtu wako na akili kweli mkiona? Ako na utu. Please.
Then came a second challenge, this time from Ukambani residents who revisited Ruto's much publicized development tour. They pointed to projects Ruto launched with ribbon cutting ceremony and heavy machinery, including the 20-kilometer Imali Batiliko road.
Of machinery za ujenzi wa barabara, flagging off machinery za ujenzi wa barabara at the count of 3, 2, and 1. Mashini zitaanza kutembea. 3, 2, 1. Mashine ya kwanza aina ya greda, ishara tosha sasa mradi wetu wa barabara umeanzishwa rasmi.
According to residents who inspected the route a month later, the equipment vanished as soon as the president left, leaving a commemorative pillar as the only proof of his appearance.
Sasa tuko mahali inaitwa hii ndio barabara ya kutoka mahali kwenda Okia. Hakuna kitu inaendelea hapa, nikasonga na danganya watu hapa wa Kenya. Ndio hiyo barabara. Acha sasa niwapeleke mahali Kasonga alikuwa anasema anafungua. Na mgengie. Kwa kana na akili ziara ndo kana. Sasa kwenda hivi ni kwenda na mali vile naenda hivyo. Hapa sasa ukiuliza watu wa Kasongo watakwambia sasa lami sasa inaendelea kuwekwa. Hii ndo lami sasa ya Kasongo. Mnaona vile ameweka lami? Hiyo barabara ya kutoka Mali kwenda Matiliku kwenda hauwezi gawa chakula.
Alright guys, so that is it. And away from that, the bunge la wananchi from Kakamega actually had to talk about the aspect of this war between Kalonzo Musyoka and Ruto. Now, funny enough, you may not understand everything. Yesterday, we had some elders who were supporting Panyako coming up and saying they are supporting the government. On the other hand, we have the bunge la wananchi who have come out to address this. Are they doing that for selfish purposes, maybe to have recognition from the government, or actually to receive some pay from bunge la taifa? We may not understand that, but let's just check into this before we proceed to another different aspect. Of course, Burkina Faso waiting.
Na mimi siwezi kukulaumu bwana Barasa. Mwanaume wa bibi moja kugawa chakula hajui, kwa sababu yeye chakula yote akifanya shopping anapeleka kwa nyumba moja. Na ndio sababu hakuna kiongozi Mluya imara ambaye yuko na bibi moja. Jironga alikuwa na wanawake 12 na wote alikuwa anajua kuwagawia wanawake 12 na watoto 38, na wote wamesoma na wote wamezaa na wote wanakula vizuri. Mwanaume wa mwanamke mmoja, watu wenye lodo wako nayo ni shida stadium. Mtu wa lodo wako na shida stadium, William Ruto. Atunaenda kuwajengea stadium ya 900 million. Itawasaidia na nini? You are not a leader. If you cannot lead, acha kujidanganya kwamba wewe unataka kuunda serikali ya upinzani. Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka, wewe muda wako uliisha wakati ulikuwa kwa serikali. Haya makosa unaona saizi tulikuwa tunayaona wakati wewe ulikuwa kwa serikali during your time. Hauwezi ona saizi makosa ambayo yapo saizi kwa sababu wewe hauko katika uongozi. You are the deputy president of Republic of Kenya. Ulitufanyia nini kama wewe deputy Kalonzo Musyoka? Una agenda pia wewe.
Huyo mtu wako na akili kweli mkiona?
Now, of course, for those of you who paid attention to Wanjigi today, he blasted the president saying that he should not go into new promises such as Singapore, getting to Malaysia, and having our country get to the first world when there's so much that are stalled. Of course, out of what the DP presented, they have only achieved 7%, which is very minimal. He then urged the president to keep quiet about these agendas that are coming up and just fulfill at least 25% of what he promised. Then people will look at him instead of coming up with new promises, because he has just about less than 600 and something days to election. Meanwhile, there's something about I want us to focus on something about Caswell, and then we'll be getting to Burkina Faso because there is worry about the safety of Burkina Faso in the hands of the president. I don't know what.
What the youth were saying is what the country was saying. But right now, we are chasing after narratives. We are seated here discussing Singapore instead of discussing progressive policies that are coming from youth. We are seated here, I am busy hammering her party leader instead of saying, as young people, this is what we could be doing. So the old guard has taken the wind out of our sails to the point where now we are waiting for 2027. I am saying even this thing when we are blaming IEBC, we the youth in the broad-based youth front, we will out-organize and out-mobilize the youth in the opposition, because we are not wailing saying that, oh, we are complaining IEBC is somewhere. We are taking our people and we are saying, let us go and register together. We organize those tournaments, we go and register. We do these things where we bring people together. For me, it is unequivocal. As unpopular as it might be, that's how I started. 27. Let the young people have a stake in the governance of their country going forward, not through dingy means or quickie politicians. Also, I've only had one political leader, who's Raila Odinga. I do not owe any other political leader any allegiance. Brian,
Moses was in Pharaoh Palace. God asked him, what do you have in your hand? And then Moses said, I have a rod. And that's when now that rod was used to in a miracle. And another thing in biblical way of teachings. So this is what I will tell the young people. What do we have? We have the energy, we have the brains, we have...
All right. Let's continue to listen to the discussion surrounding these GNCs before we proceed.
We're going to stand for these convictions. We're going to have this kind of values that is going to take this country forward. That's something that is very unique for this.
Thank you, ladies.
We need to be like Singapore. Because now we are approaching, and I can see even the president has picked that. You see the opposition is speaking that Singapore is about to be reduced to a campaign contest. And now, if it goes there, as long as it's a sunroof issue, sunroof to sunroof, sunroof from the government and sunroof of the opposition, very shortly it will become a joke. Very shortly it becomes diminished. You know, the late Raila Odinga, one of his rallying calls was Canaan. Remember, we are going to Canaan. You see, we need to be careful because remember when he lost the election, what did he say about not getting to Canaan? He said there are crocodiles in River Jordan. And you see the whole geography of where Canaan actually is in relation to River Jordan, we are not adding up. We hope in 90 years, what was the other timeline? It was 1930. We don't start doing explanations.
All right, guys, you heard that. Do you believe that Singapore is going to be a joke, or is it still remaining to be a serious strategy that the current government has insisted on? Now, when you come to the stalled projects, including some roads that have been promised and what we are not seeing, then it becomes a joke. But in case these projects will make it, then we'll begin to see the reality into what this Singapore thing is all about. But anyway, let me check on something to do with Burkina Faso. And we want to understand whether Burkina Faso is safe in the hands of the current President Taore. There was a video here that I was targeting to show. Let me just see whether it is there. And then we will be able to do the analysis based on that. Let's check on this. Where is this video? Sometimes just when we want to use a video, then it disappears. But there was something here about Burkina Faso. And Taore. Where is it? Don't sleep, T. Let me check better, in a better way. Yeah, so there's this video. Actually, let's get to it.
Big things are happening in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is developing quickly under Captain Ibrahim Traore. New factories are opening, new roads are being built, and change is visible everywhere you look.
As you know, in Burkina Faso, we were born revolutionaries, we are living revolutionaries, and we will die revolutionaries. Everything is about revolution in Burkina Faso. La révolution électrique démarre ici. The electric revolution starts here.
But to truly understand a country, to feel its heartbeat, and learn the culture of its people, you don't start with highways, buildings, or politics. You start where the people are. You start in the market. Today, I'm taking you to the biggest market in Burkina Faso, Grand Marché. I will be showing you what everyday life here looks like. This is where everyday life, history, and culture all meet in one place.
Greetings, go people, and welcome to the land of the upright men and women. This is Ouagadougou.
Who we are, so to say, encourage their eyes. So, and that's why, you know, people support Ibrahim Traore because it's working on the footsteps of Thomas Sankara. That's right. That's right.
Oh, so in the past, people see this and they are adults and villagers.
Yeah, of course, you know, only villagers, because everybody wanted to look like, you know.
This is my third day, second day in Burkina Faso. Doing a great time, actually learning about the culture here.
You have to be extra careful here. There's people, there's motorbikes everywhere. They sell it that you're supposed to buy with some with oil. Okay. So right here in the market, you can get anything and everything that you want. You want to travel, they got suitcases for you. That's for washing laundry.
Yeah, guys, so if you look at that video, of course, you realize Burkina Faso is not doing badly. And the other day, Nigeria had to kneel down to Burkina Faso, especially when they were using their skies to get their planes where they wanted them to go without asking Burkina Faso. So they had to actually make them understand that a country is a country with its rules and independence. So guys, I won't go into a lot because I didn't prepare adequately for so much. 30 minutes is enough for me here. I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, it's Tracy for you.